Hey guys, and welcome to the video in another segment of Hacking Modding Monday News and Info. For those who are new to the channel and to these segments, look down in the description for a brief summary on what these segments are all about. Now, earlier today, I did do a video explaining the situation, what's going on with the mod chips from Team Executor, that they've shipped them out to the testers. It's only about 4 minutes or so long, so make sure you watch that one because they put out a status update on that a few days ago. And here today we will be focused on Sony systems, maybe some emulation, some miscellaneous mentions, and our top 10 pirated movies of the week. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right, we start off with the PS3 scene and we come here to PS3 Brewology, where we're just going to look at something real quick, and that is RetroArch. Now, I know Webman Mod says it was updated yesterday, May 10th, but it's still the same version number, and I didn't see anything in the releases that showed that anything had changed. There's no news of it changing over at PSX Place or anything, so I don't know really why it jumped up to the top here. Who knows? Anyway, RetroArch is where we're going to draw our attention just for a bit, because they released the latest 1.8.6 version for the PS3, but this is a PS Lite new experimental version for the PS3. Now, it is considerably smaller compared to 185 kex, which is like 500 and something megabytes. This PS Lite one is only like 160 megabytes. The DeX version for 185 is like 800 and something megabytes. So I don't know what's missing here, what's not included, what the main difference is, because it really, I don't think it lists it anywhere. It just tells you here what's working in this version, what isn't. So I don't know, it doesn't really get into too many specifics, but it does say you can mess up with your backup managers, which is your multi-man, your mana guns, your iris man, and things like that. So you may want to hold off using this latest version until we get more information regarding it. Alright, so now we head on over to the PS4 scene, where the Mira Project PlayStation 4 homebrew tools are causing a little bit of a commotion. There are people who are already calling this custom firmware. Of course, it really isn't. It really is a set of tools that allow you to do various things. However, it is highly unstable. It's really not intended for the end user at all, at least not yet. And it cannot play newer games like some people have already jumped the gun saying that it can. No, it can't. So anyway, this was posted here today. I also am going to link here the post that came out on Logic Sunrise, which says here that this is not a custom firmware, it is a set of tools. So let me, to make a long story short, just show you what one of the developers posted here, because I think it kind of sums it all up really nicely. So the purpose of this is for a more legal and legit and stable way for building and playing homebrew, since apparently, I guess this was done without the Sony development kit. Also, it provides more stable grounds to move forward on future exploits. So that's good too. That doesn't mean we're going to see a kexploit tomorrow or in a week or in a month. Who knows? You cannot, as I said before, play newer games on this either. So right now, as far as the end user is concerned, really for us, it doesn't do much of anything. We just gotta wait to see what the developers do with it from this point forward. All right, next up we have for the PS4 Chiaki. I hope I'm saying that right. Anyway, this is a open source software client that allows for a remote play for the PlayStation 4, and you use it with like Linux, FreeBSD, OpenBSD, Android, macOS, Windows, and potentially even more platforms. All the features are listed here, as well as the installation instructions. You can go to the releases, where you will find what they've done in this latest update, as well as all the various files here. Just select the one that's right for you. Alright, and next for the PS4, we have the PS4 Explorer. This is now version 1.9. You can see here what the developer has posted has been done in this update. I don't know if there's more stuff that's been done because I don't think it's up on a GitHub anywhere. But anyway, they added support for avatars for use with the avatar maker tool. There's also a little bug here that he mentions, so make sure you read that if you plan on using it. This of course is a file explorer for your modded PS4. It works on 505 and the download mega file is right here. Alright, and now we switch scenes. Let's head on over to the Vita scene where we see a couple of updates here. First, Julius Vita goes to version 1.4. This is a game, it's a port of Caesar 3, that's a city builder, and it's been ported over for the Vita. And I think I remember playing that back in the day, the Caesar 3 on the PC. It was actually really good. Alright, so Daedalus X64 also gets updated to version 0.2. This is an N64 emulator for the Vita. This came out not too long ago, so expect it to get many updates. It's also, you know, not that great, at least not yet. It is new, so hopefully it'll get there. It's nowhere near SNES, NES, or like Genesis emulator quality, but at some point in the future we can keep our fingers crossed that it will get to that. And in lieu of this massive leak that Nintendo went through, where we saw a lot of information released regarding their legacy consoles, including the N64, we'll see if that affects the Vita scene regarding N64 and other Nintendo emulation here in the near future. Alright, and now we head to the world of emulation. First stop is over at Libretro and an update to RetroArch 1.8.6, and one of the first things that they list here with this change is that PS Lite PlayStation 3 port that we talked about earlier. Now there's not much more detail here, at least I didn't see any regarding that. Pretty much the same stuff that I showed you over at PS3 Virology is what is listed here. But they do go on talking about many other things that have been done in this latest release, from playlist compression to save state compression and just a bunch of other things. The new kind of like ozone layout or display that that you can have regarding the thumbnails and whatnot, and just a whole host of other things. You can come here to the change log and you can see that it's as long as a marathon. So if you want to take the time to read it, feel free to knock yourself out because there's a lot of changes here. Anyway, when you go to the download section, you will find all the different platforms this latest version is available on. Alright, and continuing with emulation, we now have an update to PCSX2, which is a PlayStation 2 emulator for various platforms such as Windows, Linux, and Mac. This latest version is 1.6.0. You can check out some of the changes here, starting from right here all the way down to their last release, but these are just some of the highlights. You can get a full report here, and when you click on it, you can see that they go into more detail about everything that's been done in this latest release. There's also a compatibility tab here, so you can check to see if your favorite games are compatible as well. I've used this on my PC before and it actually works pretty damn good. Most of the games, as you can see here, are playable, over 2,500 of them. Only 14 are perfect, but most of those playable games actually play very well. So it's worth a try if you've never tried it before, and if you have it, make sure you snag this latest update. Alright, and next up we come here to the Julius GitHub page. This is an open source re-implementation of the Caesar 3 game. Here though, it's called Julius and has been ported to various platforms. Now, we talked just a little while ago about the Vita one, and they just recently ported it over to the Switch, which I'm happy about because, as I mentioned earlier, I played this game a long time ago back on the PC and it was really good, and I remember it getting really high reviews. So there's some instruction here on running the game and whatnot, and when you go over to the releases, you'll see the vast improvements, additions, and fixes that they've done with this latest release, and you'll see all of the files here. So you just need to snag the one that you'll be using on your platform. I grabbed the Switch one a few minutes ago, and as soon as I'm done putting this video together, I'm going to be playing it later on tonight. All right, and let's wrap things up as we normally do here every Monday with our top 10 most pirated movies for the week as reported by torrentfreak.com. This one for week ending May 10th, 2020. Let's start at number 10 with Bloodshot. The Gentleman is at number 9. Emma is new to the list and comes in at number 8. Fantasy Island is at 7. Greed also makes its debut to the list at number 6. Birds of Prey is at 5. Bad Boys for Life is at 4. Sonic the Hedgehog is at 3. Extraction, which was at number 1 last week, it was actually number 1 for 2 weeks in a row, now slips just a little to number 2. And the new number 1 is also a movie that is brand new to the list, and it debuts right at that top spot. Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, which got an extremely high rating on Rotten Tomatoes. As of right now, it's sitting at a perfect 100%. And the top 3 movies here with the highest IMDb rating score, that would be Justice League Dark at 8.1. Then we have The Gentleman at 8.0 and Bad Boys for Life at 7.1. And that is going to do it for today, guys. Don't forget to tune in to part 2 tomorrow. You know I appreciate you guys watching, and if you found anything here informative, useful, helpful, just entertaining, or you want to throw some love or appreciation to the channel, you know that the best way you can do any of that stuff is just to hit that like button. Maybe subscribe if you haven't already. Much love going out to all of you out there. Be careful, be safe, but have fun, and we will see you on the next one.